Hello everyone, my name's Notepad Anon, and I write games for fun. Now, you may be wondering, where the hell was I yesterday? And that answer is, I was working on things. So I'm going to turn down the music so I don't deafen myself with it, because no one likes going deaf. Now, what was I working on yesterday? Well, I was working on this autism. So, as we went through last time, we went through the Warlord of the Night and the Magus. However, I finished up the Bishop tree, which you have two main trees, and you see here Sohei's. Couldn't find actually a word for warrior monks, so I just used that word. You may say cultural appropriation. I call it not knowing proper words. Got him. So, this side is the I am going to fuck you up in the power of faith and anime. And this one is more of the healy everyone livey please side. And outside of that, we also have the Knave. The Knave's primary two things are about being either sneaky and kind of benefiting the squad as a whole, or being a lot more independent and each individual trooper being a lot more valuable overall. You see, this one's actually the only one you can actually get cavalry in this tree. And as of right now, I got half the ranger tree done, which goes from archer, arbalist, sniper, siege archer, or Pavician, quarterlers, and Cossacks. Why Cossacks, Notepad? Because I couldn't think of another word for it. And I want to give someone more cavalry, because right now there's actually not that much cavalry in the game. But overall, as of right now, I'm just working on this section. And if we go to the project tactics, I actually put in the trooper advancements, how they level up. They level up a little bit faster than you traditionally do, but they're also a lot weaker, and they can die a lot easier. So I want to make sure, like, hey, I got someone up to a higher level. I don't want them to die immediately, because that would suck. But overall, we have Final Fantasy Tactics here, Squires, Knights, and two Dragoons, which I think are the most aesthetic classes in the game. If you don't think that's right, you're wrong. More Final Fantasy Tactics. We have, obviously, our main character, Ramza. Knight, Black Mage, White Mage, Dragoon, Time Wizard, and Summoner. Fuck off Dragon on there. And if we scroll up, everything else should be okay. I didn't really add much as I just worked on these. Why are these taking so long? Because there's a lot of it. I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot of just things to type. They're not fun things, they're just things. So I'm gonna wrap this one up, and then we're actually gonna move on to equipment. Now you may be wondering, when are you going to add them actually to the book? Funniest thing you mentioned that, because I don't quite know how I want to put them in the book yet. Because the most reliable method I have so far, if I scroll down here, I gotta do a little bit of a jank way of doing things. Where is it? Alright, I guess I deleted it like a complete moron. Is it there? Come back. Did I put it in the recycling bin? Am I a complete moron? Oh, there we go. Let's put you back out here. No, that's completely wrong. Why are you here? Why is my life falling apart, everyone? Why is my life falling apart? Well then, I guess I'm not going to worry about that. I had a method of doing it, however, it was kind of janky. And the only really way of doing it is saving these, as we kind of see copy of Troop Knights, saving like this, and then making that an image. And yeah, I don't quite know how I want to do this yet, so yeah, any suggestions would be nice. So let's get on with these guys. So we're going to do pretty much with the order of nature side of things. I want it to be a lot more about being maneuverable versus the Order of the Bow, which is a lot more about being damaging. So let me see. Make a cheeky reference to Vermintide 2 and Warhammer in general. And the way Stalkers it. And let's see, 4, 5, 6. Actually, 4, 6, 7. Only 7. You should be higher. 5, 6. 6, 7, 8, yeah. And that means I gotta bump your decks up by 1. Yeah, this is why it's been so hard to do, just because there's so much little things to consider with it. Because it's a lot of numbers here, numbers there. Click this, click that, make sure all of these go from their 4, 8, 11, 14s, and just make sure all the numbers work. Which seems really easy until you consider that it's not. So light armor. And we're going to bump your attunement up by 1. We're going to bump your dex up by 1. We're going to dump your strength up by 1. And how do I want to word this? Lightfoot's passive. This squad does not suffer damage in rough, dangerous, hazardous, or deadly terrain. That was already a warlord one, wasn't it? Let's see, irregulars. No. I want to say I could have swore I already put one of this in, but hey, I'm okay. Did I put it in somewhere in the nave? No. Hell, if it works. So you do not suffer any damage. Wait a second. Wait a second. Let's see. No. Where the hell do I think I'm putting this? Is it Warlord? I could have swore I put something. Tactical reposition, overwhelming presence, rugged fighter. Okay. Yeah, no, it's rugged fighter from the Warlord. Does not suffer any. Actually, suffers 1 die level less in rough, dangerous, hazardous, or deadly terrain, so you're taking just overall less damage. And you're a little bit stronger overall, so we're going to paste you there, and paste you right there. And obviously we're going to look up Elven Archers Warhammer. Hey everybody, let's look up what... You might be wondering why I'm referencing fantasy so much. Because usually these are the ones that are giving me what I'm looking for. I don't always mean that always going to get me what I'm looking for, but I'm saying that they're mostly going to. Actually, what I should do is Way Watcher, then Way Stalker as another one. So I just need another word right here. That's another good. Give me your. Actually, what I can do, if I really want to, rename you Scouts, rename you Wild Walkers, and then name you Way Stalkers, Way Walkers. Boom. Way Walker. Actually, is that how I want to word it? Way Watcher, that's it. Way Watcher. Arranged here 4. And your gimmick is you're going to have a little bit more tactics. You're going to have another bit of attunement. Light armor, and you're going to martial weapons, and also range weapons, because that's kind of your entire gimmick as the ranger, is that most of your guys have ranged weapons. But hey, so let me see what this is. Actually, we want expert trackers, passive. The squad may move 1 unit in any direction when an enemy squad it moves within 3 units. 5 units. Yeah, that'll work. So kind of your idea with the way, if you have a Way Watcher in your group, is you're trying to like move your squad gradually and slowly across the battlefield itself. So, okay, they're moving, we're going to move over here, and they're moving. So you constantly are getting this move, mostly if you're kind of in that combat zone. So if you're surrounded by guys and everyone's kind of moving, trying not to fight you, but kind of like trying to position you, you're being able to maneuver way far out of there before they can even react to you. Way Stalkers, on the other hand, they're going to get 2 to their dex. That means they're insane like that. And they're going to slap another into their toughness. And they're going to get Silent Stalkers. They're going to do attack 17. The squad gains the concealed condition, and their next attack is performed in ambush. Alright, perfect. So the Naturalist, you're going to get 2 more in your attunement. And 1 more in your toughness. And the big thing with them is they actually turn into casters. Wild Root AT-17. Actually, Wildwood Roads. The squad casts a spell that turns a number of casters in the party turns a number of casters in the squad rough, dangerous, hazardous, or deadly. Down by 1 step. For their allies only. There we go. Pretty much their naturals, their idea is that they can turn places that would normally be really awful to fight in into places that aren't too awful to fight in for you guys. Mostly if you pair them with wild walkers where you're just preventing damage. So if you go from, let's say, oh no, we have, dangerous terrain. Oh, let's make everything only rough terrain for us. But we also only take 1 less die from it. So instead of taking D6, we're taking D4, or we're taking just D2 damage. Like, we're taking absolutely nothing while they're still having to deal with the fact that they're taking this constant bit of damage, which is very annoying for them and very good for you. They're also considered casters, so they pair well with things like bishops and things like that. So we want to post you there. And we're going... And Druid... Caster tier 4, and this isn't going to be a Fire Emblem Druid, which is for some reason evil. That's the part that always threw me for a goddamn loop. Actually, if I would want to split these up into 2. Actually, let's do Sun Druids and Moon Druids. Sun Druids only have light armor, basic hand weapons, and ranged. But they get a big 7 there, and they can get a little bit more into their decks. Actually, we can tone you down by 1 and put 1 in your attack. I said 1 in your attack, not 2. Shine the lights of nature. Lights of nature. At 217. Squad casts a spell that exposes all squads in a number of casters in the squad, units around them. So if you have 3, so pretty much, let's say we have our basic circle, and we have 3 casters in the squad, it would go 3 out, exposing everyone there. But if we have 4, it would go 4 out. So you don't want like that many super duper squads to use this ability. I think like really tightly packed together, but it's useful in case you are cut off. Like, oh no, there's 2 enemies here. Let's expose them both, and then have our friendly neighborhood knight show up with his cavalry and rip themselves a new asshole. Cast spell expose all squad and cast squad units around them. And then we have our Moon Druid, casters tier 4. And in case you haven't realized what the Moon Druid's gimmick is going to be, 4, 3, medium armor, basic hand weapons range, wild shape, Adam, ATU 17. The squad is thrown into a nightmare, into a animalistic rage, gaining +1 damage resistance, +1 strength, and +1 toughness. For the round, recharge 3. I gotta put a recharge on the Sun Druid thing. This is going to be a recharge 3. And Wildwood Roads, recharge 2. Alright, there we go. We are officially done with these, with the actual troops, which I said was probably going to be the hardest part. But it's done now, we don't got to think about it. So, the section I'm going to put here is going to be a very detailed section, as you can tell, saying wibbly wobbly. I don't know how to do this, Blee. Aggressive jazz hands. This is my very professional document, aggressive jazz hands. So, let's do that. Alright, so now we're going to move on to, I'm going to move this below armed and dangerous, because I want to work on the equipment first, because I kind of have the idea of how I want to do this. The enemies and monsters, I know how to do it. Effectively, I'm going to be doing the same thing as with the troops here, except it's probably just going to go in a straight line down of orc, big orc, scary orc captain, and with undead, big undead, necromancer, bigger undead. You know, it's kind of that very basic kind of structure, and it's primarily going to be based on their attribute amounts, which I should actually, for the sake of reference, this is how it goes for 8, 11, 14. So you get an initial kind of going from tier 1 shitties to tier 2, you get your biggest jump, and then everything after that's only 3. So after rank 3, effectively you've officially hit the point where you are slightly better than a starting captain. So yeah, no, captains are kind of the centerfold, you could say, the center of the of your squad, and why they're the strong members of the squad. You can really carry your team. So with equipment, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back here to project folder dice. I'm going to reference back to actually the Feast of Legends clapback. The clapback. A classic game that I fucking hate and want everyone who worked on it to get hit with a bat. Not a bully stream, by the way. I just really hate this game. And I hate everything about Feast of Legends. A lot. But we're going to add in all of our equipment here. And what we can do, because we are very lazy here, is we can just control V, and bada bing, bada boom. No one rushes into conflict and danger with their fists and skivvies, like rushing the best arms and armor they can find, whether fighting ground or efficiency. Equipment has played a vital part in the captain's efforts to lead their troops. Into battle. The equipment listed here is for captains in micro combat. Basic arms micro combat. As the captains grow and plunge deeper into dangerous territories, they may find more exotic and dangerous weapons and armor to wield against their foes. So, roughly speaking, we have axe, ball and chain, battle axe, boar spears. I think it just kind of works for what I'm going for. I don't think I really need to expand on it all that much, as you're already going to be doing such a large chunk of damage. I can even just keep the picture if I really wanted to. What I will add, though, actually, that reminds me. Let's go to Table Talk Online. And we're going to go to our working copy. Delicious taste of alcoholic beverages. Do I want to do higher damage, maybe? Let's just use D6s, though. No. I think I'll stick with this. I think this works. And we will select. We will select all of you. And then we'll paste you right down there. Rolls damage twice. Graceful. Unwieldy magical freehand. Roll damage twice. Thrown. Switch freehand dual wield. Stun roll at a disadvantage. Reload. Sealable. Complicated. Piercing. Obvious ammunition. Alright, yeah, this is... Again, this section I knew was going to be actually fairly easy to do because I don't really need to explain too much on it. And we're going to post our armors. Armor. Damage resistance and armor penalty. Damage resistance all incoming damage while the armor penalty reduces the... chance to perform maneuvers. And we're actually going to... taking you out. Reducing everything here. Actually, because I'm very lazy. Light armor. Medium armor. Heavy armor. Heavy armor. Super heavy armor. Padded leathers. And I'm actually going to bump you up by 1 each. Just because I don't want armor. Because armor and maneuvers aren't really supposed to go too well together. That's kind of the thing with that. With a strength check. Okay, shield strike. Strength works. Wait a second. Graceful. Used with dexterity instead of strength. Okay. Cuckoo choo choo. You've gotten this part done. And isn't this so easy when you already typed up things that you could just copy paste? God bless the thinking ahead of time. Am I right? Am I right? Is this horribly lazy? Hell yes it is. Do I care? Absolutely not. Because we're going to have to do the unfun part now. So these were micro weapons, effectively. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to put captain weapons. And we're going to put you down to 3 equipment. Control C. And can I make you a little bit smaller? Can I? Yeah, God, I always hate when this happens. Because what happens is, okay, what I'm gonna have to do is hit enter there. Does that fix it? No. One more. Why do you do this to me? Just why? That's my question, world. Life hack. Damn it, no life hacks. Okay, normal. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Because I'm trying to get this to line up correctly, and it's not feeling like it wants to. I don't know why. If I make this a little... No, that's not going to work. Can I just... There we go. I don't know why you didn't feel like working before, but hey, welcome to the wonderful world of Google Docs, as it fights me at every step of the way. Ranged weapons, everything works pretty good there. Reload Marshall, yeah. Yeah, Marshall. Oh, that reminds me, I need to set all these to 3. And range weapons. Heading numero tres. Trace? I don't speak Spanish, in case you haven't realized. 3. Probably didn't need to make you 3, but I'm going to anyway. And armor. And shields. Now we have to deal with trooper equipment. Trooper equipment. Your soldiers won't fight very well if they aren't armed. They won't last long either. Either if they have no armor. When outfitting your warband, deciding on what equipment is brought along is essential for creating an effective fighting force. And we go heading 2. So now we get to the fun part where I get to pretty much cut things down pretty significantly. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to copy paste all of these, put them right there. But now we get to take things away. We don't need that. We don't need swords. We don't really actually. Yeah, we don't need spears. We need clubs, crowbills, nah. Flails, nah. Frog spears, nah. Gauntlets, why the hell would we need that? Great swords, yeah. Guard, dag. Actually, what I'm going to screw it. Screw it, just screw it. Everything's getting deleted. Everything's getting deleted. No one gets to have any fun. And we want to delete 26 rows. Weapon, let's see. And weapons. Plus damage, 0. And we're actually going to delete this column. And basic hand weapons, damage 0. All of the troopers' equipment are added together to determine what their bonus damage is when facing foes. Bonus damage, damage resistance. Actually, all the troopers' equipment is added. All the troopers' weapons are added together. Determine the final amount of bonus damage that is applied when the squad attacks. While armor calculates damage resistance to individual members. Certain troops can only use certain kinds of weapons available to them, such as basic or martial weapons. All right. Oof. Snapping my back into place again. basic hand weapons, and ubiquitous, and basic. I said, like, oh, hey, I kind of know what I want to do here, and that's kind of not, I'm right, I kind of know what I want to do here. So, we're going to have to split this between martial hand weapons, which add a +1 to damage, and tags that are going to be martial, pikes and spears. 0 bonus damage, however, they have martial and cavalry killers. Great weapons, +3. Martial, of course. What other ones do I add in? Because half of me wants to go really deep into this. The other part of me doesn't. If I wanted to, I could just break it down into what kind of weapons they are. Either they're... So, let's see. Axe, mace, spear, sword, thin blade. Yeah. Actually, let's just do that. I think that's a better idea. That's a better idea than everything that I'm doing. So, axe, mace, spear, sword, and the thin blades. And then damage. Axes give +1. Mace gives a +1. A spear gives a +0. Swords get +2. And the thin blades give 0. But axes, they have pierce. Maces have... Actually, we'll give maces KO. No knockout. And cavalry killer. And swords don't have anything. And thin blades have graceful. So effectively, you can use your dexterity if you have thin blades. However, what we get to do now is we get to copy-paste this and copy-paste this down below. Copy-paste to right here, melee weapon types. And we're going to have martial. Actually, I should do basic, martial, great. What else do I put in basic hand weapons? Light armor, martial weapons. Because I can go very deep into this. And I mean deep. Part of me wants to, part of me doesn't. Just for the sake of my sanity more than anything. The part of me that wants to go deep into it is effectively saying, it'll be fun, don't worry about it. There's nothing wrong with that. It's good to be autistic. Oh, it's okay. Everything's fine. Have fun. It's supposed to be fun. Little niggling feeling in the back of my head, though, is like, but why? Why would you do that to yourself, Notepad? Are you a masochist? And the answer is yes. Weapon type. Damage gives a -1 bonus. Martials give +1. Martials give a +0. Greats give a +2. And we're going to do scavenged. And quality. Quality weapons give you a +1. Scavenged weapons give you a -1. And you also have the ubiquitous quality. And we're going to do that. We'll make that rare. Actually, we're not going to give it anything. Quality. So great. So two-handed. Martial doesn't give you anything. Basically, just gives you ubiquitous. Now, you may be saying that I'm trying to avoid adding anything like cost to it, and that's a reason, because I don't quite know how I want to balance the economy yet. Because you want to know what's really fun in any game ever? It's balancing the economy, everyone. Isn't balancing the economy of a game really fun and exciting and makes you not want to blow your head off like a fucking Norwegian superstar? I know it does for me. And that brings me to ranged weapons. Ranged weapons. So we'll actually just go with crossbows. Heavy crossbows. We'll take out mechanical crossbows. We don't really need that. Javelins. Don't need you. Longbows. Actually, what I can do is I can put thrown in here. Slings. Okay, yeah, here we go. And delete 2 rows. So crossbows give +2 damage, and they have range, and we'll call it 4 units. Actually, range units. For heavy crossbows have 5. Like crossbows are 3, longbows are 6, short bows are 4, slings are 3, and thrones are 1. Crossbows get +2, you get a +3, you get a +1, longbows get a +3, short bows get a +0, get a +1, slings get a 0, and throne gives you a 0. Actually, we'll give that. We want Marshall to go away. We want Marshall to go away. Marshall go away. Marsha. So we've got range, so now we need to add the weapon tags in. The thing is, I don't even quite know if the numbers are working here. Actually, what I should do with ammunition. Ammunition 5. Actually, ammo pool 5. Ammo pool 5. Ammo pool 6. Ammo pool 6. Ammo 6. Ammo pool 10. And actually, ammo pool 1. Ammo pool X, actually. So what do I mean by ammo pool? Because fumbles aren't really going to be a thing in the large-scale combat, I need to put in a system that you just don't spam range attacks, and this is it. So pretty much you only get X amount of shots with your archers before you just run out of arrows and run out of bolts. And you may say, "Oh, my guys only have 6 shots, or my archers only have 5 shots." This is you firing a couple arrows. That's you letting loose, a couple arrows at a time to kind of hit someone. Because again, when you're dealing with larger numbers, you can't just shoot a single arrow and expect to pierce the heavens. No, you have to shoot 5 or 6 arrows to hit someone successfully. Mostly when you're dealing with such large range against people. Again, you're not really supposed to be, as an archer at least. Your goal isn't to, snipe people out of the air. Your goal is to hit someone, maybe through the power of volley fire. And, someone like the ranger who can really kind of manipulate that, their guys are better at it, so he gets the ability to use volley fire, which is effectively them shooting twice in one round, only consuming 1 bit of ammo. So that's kind of your push-pull there. Rangers make archers very valuable, contrasting other units that you get your only X amount of shots. But if you're a knight, do you really want your few shooters to have heavy crossbows who have to reload after every round, or do you want them to have slings, which you don't really have to reload, so they can toss what they need to toss and then run up and stab the people you don't like to death using the nearest pointy object. So that's kind of how I want to do that. Again, these aren't perfect. Again, my main goal right now, I've expressed this before, is to get the words on paper. Because once the words are on paper, things get a lot easier. The hardest part of any game development, the hardest part about any time you make a game or anything really, make anything, is getting the initial bits done. The hard part is writing everything down. It's getting the words from an idea in your head to words on a paper. And why that's so difficult, you may ask, is because your ideas usually aren't perfectly compatible with real life. I want to make a game that's like Dynasty Warriors. A tabletop game like Dynasty Warriors. That's not going to happen. There's so many little factors that go into it. And when you start writing it down, you begin noticing those little bits and pieces that aren't working quite as well. But that's good, because you notice where you have to improvise. Oh, I need to add something like a Mushu mode. How do I do that? Well, I had to add something like that. It has to be something that I build up to. Once a combat, I can unlock my Mushu mode, and I can do really cool things. Okay, that's an idea. Write it down. Suddenly you have something. You have something to work with. Alternatively, you say, I don't want to do Dynasty Warriors, but you don't know how. Write something down. It doesn't have to be good. It doesn't even have to be right. It just needs to be something. Because once you have something down on paper, it's there. And you can work with it. You can mold it. You can take it out. You can edit it. It's something that you've written down. I've written plenty of things down before that I've scrapped entirely because they didn't work. Other things have changed completely, but the name has stayed the same. Others, the theme has been there, but the wording has changed. As long as it's down there, it's there. You can use it then. Even if you take it out entirely, never throw anything away. Because you never know when that little thing is going to be used somewhere else. Like, a vast majority of what you've been seeing here actually has been me copy-pasting things from another game entirely. That's on purpose. Because I already wrote it, why do I need to rewrite it? It's going to be the exact same thing. Because I have the idea in my head, why should I bother to Change it. Ammo pool X. The squad has enough ammunition to shoot for X rounds. Do I add the complicated tag in here? I do not. So I don't need it. Concealable. I really don't need concealable for this situation. Obvious. Again, there's no need for obvious. Weapon cleaves through armor to the target's damage resistance. Damage resistance is reduced by that much when being attacked. Squad has enough ammunition. Dual wield, obviously, we don't need. Freehand, we don't need. Gory, nothing's gory here. Graceful, we don't need. A long distance. Magical isn't really necessary. Unwieldy. Ubiquitous isn't needed. Two-handed is. Switch. Stun. Put reload there, we'll put thrown right there, and we'll put two-handed right there. Is there another thing I used anywhere in here? No, I really don't. Go away, Marshall. You're not really necessary here. Alright, so yeah, everything looks good there. So I'm going to delete here, but I'm going to actually add... Take away you, copy you, put you right there, put you right there, and the magical. The weapon is considered to be magical and can be. Oh, cavalry. Oh, goodness, I forgot about those. Let's see, insert column below. All cavalry. When the squad attacks a cavalry unit, they deal an extra plus 1d6 damage to them. Graceful Pierce knockout. Okay, knockout. Knockout. When a unit is rendered into critical, the trooper cannot be woken up. Cannot be woken up for the for 1d4 turns, but they do not bleed out. Yeah, actually, yeah, they cannot be woken up for 1d4 turns. We'll actually even make it. They cannot be woken up for 2 turns. There we go. Nice and easy. So pretty much the value of putting something, arming some of your squad mates with knockout is the enemy isn't getting up endlessly, mostly when it comes to things like undead, which their entire gimmick is going to be, I'm endlessly getting back up, I'm endlessly getting back up, I'm endlessly getting back up. And it's like, ah, crap. Like, this is bad, because they're not dying. And when people don't die, bad things happen. And we're going to change you to normal text. Change you to normal text. And guess what? It's your turn to become normal. as well as your turn. And your turn. I'm going to fix all this probably after stream, because this is literally going to be me clicking buttons. Not exactly the most exciting thing in the world, but it's got to be done. You have to maintain that beautiful thing called cohesion. And normal text. There we go. Nice and simple like. Everything looks good to me. So we have range weapons, weapon tags. Now we get to go on to armor. Armor type, no armor, light armor, medium armor, heavy armor, super heavy armor. And damage resistance. And we're going to have a dexterity penalty. And remember how movement goes. It is dependent on, you guessed it, what your dexterity is. So if you have super heavy armor on, you're going to be moving the speed of molasses. Yay, isn't that so much fun, guys? Moving really slow. I know it is. It's not. It's not fun at all. You shouldn't do it. And we'll just add... range equipment, and I'm actually just going to put you right there. And that's not at all what I'm looking to do. Hey! There we go. Hey. Wait a second. Did I get rid of the nice shields? Yeah, I think I did. There we go. And controls. Control. Select everything. Control C. Not Control V, not Control Z. Not, just Control C. And now all the armor's gone. Of course it is. Because I cannot win for losing. Wait. Okay, you're there. Weapon tags. Okay, you... I need to go below this. You need to go right here. Boom. There we go. And select all of you. Damage resistance against ranged attacks. Dexterity penalty. One, two, three, four. Okay. And we're actually going to insert column to the right. And we're going to call it plantable. Plantable. No. 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 Yes. Yes. And what does plantable mean? We're going to go to tools. We're going to insert footnote. During the refocus action, macro combat, order, the shields give an additional +2, actually let's say +4 to defense, as long as, actually give a +1 to defense for every shield. Shield planted. During the refocus, macro combat, or, refocus, or hold, The dexterity penalty does not apply. So pretty much what the goal of plantable shields and things are that you are able to, you're making a hold action, slap your shield down, and that allows you to be like a Pavis, actually a Pavesian, like a Pavesian shield with crossbows and such, and shoot over them, and you kind of have cover, which allows certain units, quote, some of the ranger guys, to do a lot of damage and be very effective, because we like things when people are effective. So that's all I really have for equipment. I said equipment wasn't going to take too long, but what I've been meaning to do is I want to make a squad. I want to make a squad, so who is our basic squad? Give me, where is my simple, okay, Joffrey of Lindenholm. Joffrey of Lindenholm squad. So he has 3 militia and 2 poachers. I had to rename that because I couldn't think of a good word for it. Okay, militia. So overall, if we go to Troops Knight, so his 3 militia, I'll have that, and they also have basic hand weapons and no armor. Well, they can have up to light armor if they wish, and since it's Joffrey, we're gonna give them all light armor. They move really slowly. 2 poachers on the other hand. If we go to the ranger, look like this. And they all have basic hand weapons and no armor. They also have range, and we'll give them short bows. So, what does our basic squad look like? So our squad with Joffrey of not dealing with Joffrey right now, because he's not statted out. So our ATU is 0, our Dex is 2. Actually, our Dex is 4. So we have 2 poachers. Our strength is 6, 7, 8. So our strength is 8. Our attack is 3. Our toughness is 5. Alright, this is our basic squad. So overall we're doing about 1d10 plus 8 plus whatever damage we do. So if we go down here to our equipment and we want to select, we'll give our militia boys here, we'll give them this axes. But they're going to have to be basic axes. So they don't get any damage bonus. But our poachers are going to get, well, again, short bows. So we have +3 damage from ranged. So overall we're doing 1d10 plus 7 damage. Oh, that doesn't work. That doesn't work at all. Fugger nucks. No, you can't just focus on getting the numbers down. Notepad, just get the numbers down on the paper and we can worry about the details later. Like, we only have a tactics of 3. So overall, to any, like, complex tactics, we're going to have to rely a lot more on Joffrey. But as they rank up in any remote fashion, Jesus, that means their attributes are going to get way higher. Yeah, no. Let's do this theoretically speaking, of course, because we are theoretical people. And what happens if we rank everyone up to rank 2? So this is going to be rank 1. And we're going to rank every single one of these characters up to rank 2 in some manner. So we're going to want to... So squad rank 2. There we go. Squad rank 2. We're going to have 2 archers. Because Linda Holmes not a hippie. With light armor. And basic hand weapons. Ranged. We'll give them longbows this time. And our and also light armor. Get the light armor. And our 3 militia, they're going to get upgraded. If we look here, we give 2 skirmish or cavalry, and 1 infantry. I didn't even deal with cavalry yet. Alright, let's just look at the numbers as of right now. Just the numbers, nothing else. So overall, our new attributes... Our new squad attribute, just at rank 2. This is just rank 2, by the way. Not rank 3, not rank anything. So we have still 0 attunement. We have 8 decks. 8, 9, 10. We have 10 decks. Jesus. Our strength is now 2, 6, 9. Our strength is 9. We only went up by 1. Our attack is 6, 10. Tactics is now 12. Fuck me. And our toughness is now 2, 4, 6. So that was just the basic jump from rank 1 to rank 2. Wowzers, that's a lot. That's a lot more than I was thinking it would be. Okie dokie then. Gee, it went from TAC 3 to TAC 12. Fuck me. That means you could pull off almost all of the maneuvers like right away. God damn. I don't even know how to deal with that. I don't even want to see what what rank 3 would look like. Holy shit. Not gonna think about it. Nope, not gonna think about it. Nope, not gonna worry about it because I don't know how to fix it, and I'll think about it later. I don't know how to fix it. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna get the last bit done. And I'm going to add effectively 2 varieties of enemies just right off the bat. Because again, if you want to I want to go up against bandits. Guess what? You just I don't really need to stat bandits out because guess what? You have all of these soldiers, but it's going to be something real simple. So what I'll do actually. Monsters. And we're going to slap you right. We're going to slap tier 2 right there. We're going to slap our tier 1. Tier 3. Tier 4. And these are going to be our monsters. They're going to be super spooky. So we're going to actually start most monsters out at 5. We're going to then bump it up to 9, 13, 17. And that's going to be our grand number. And actually what we can do, because these again are monsters and terrifying monsters that want to eat our brains and kill us all, we can actually add a 5th rank, which is going to be a 21. Those are your real monsters that will kill you, and just not, no one will have fun fighting them. But that's kind of the point, because nobody wants to fight the big spooky scary monster that's going to eat you and murder you and make fun of you later and deny you going to prom. Okay, so we're going to make a goblin. We're going to make orcoids. Orcoid. Tier 1 foot. Actually, what I can do is orcoid foot. And then orcoid ranged. And orcoid cavalry. There we go. So our goblino, is going to have 2 there, 0, and -1 tactics, because I don't listen to anyone really. And they're going to have no armor, basic hand weapons, shields. Going to upgrade into let's do basic orc, tier 2 foot. And we have 9 to play with. And that means we get 4 more. We're going to bump 2 in the strength, bring tactics up to 0, and bump our toughness 3. So 7, 8, 9, perfect. And they can wear up to medium armor and have martial weapons. But they are not cavalry. Now we're getting into the real spicy categories. Medium armor. Blitz. And now we get to increase these by 4. Yet again, we're going to increase strength by 6. We're going to give them 1 tactic. And we're going to bump their toughness up by 1. And we'll call it Savage Brutality. Passive. All Orc Raid. The Orc Squad gains a +2 to all damage dealt. Orc Berserker. Another 4. We're going to bump tactics up to 6. We're going to bump strength up to 7. Toughness up to 6. Yeah. So let me guess. Actually, it's 9, 10, 11. Yeah, perfect. And foot. This squad beats down a target squad, dealing 1d4 damage to all members of the squad. And finally we have which we're going to bump up to 9 strength, 8 toughness. They're going to be wearing super heavy armor, martial weapons, and it's going to be an Orc Boss. A tier 5 foot. And decapitation. Tactic. if the squad puts an enemy squad trooper into critical, the critical trooper is immediately killed. There we go. Perfectly balanced as all things should be. Goblin Edge. I'm just going to give them 3 tiers of Rangers. I'm going to give them... They're only going to get effectively tier 2 and a tier 4 cavalry. So skirmisher. Oh, gotcha. What's the difference between a goblin and a goblin archer? One has a ranged weapon, the other does not. We're doing light armor, martial weapons. Alright, range, and they're going to have 4 in addition, so they're going to bump their dex up by 2. Bump their attack up to 0, and bump their toughness up to 3. Orcs, or great bows. Tier 4, tier 3 ranged. Wicked arrows. Passive, the squad deals plus 1d6 damage at range. Range attacks. If you haven't noticed a trend here yet, it's that these guys are not fun to deal with. Actually, we're not going to have any tier 1. There we go. And we're going to have Orc Wolf Rider. Why orcs ride wolves? I don't know. And since we have to deal with 9, we're going to bump your dex up by 3. Bump yours. So that's 7. 0 attack dex. So 7, 8, 9. Perfect. And which then brings me to Orc Warg Riders. And we are going to bump you up by quite a few points. So I'm going to give you 5 dex, 5 strength, 5 toughness to make you 15 across the board. Bump your toughness up by 1 and bump your strength up by 1. We'll give you martial weapons. Medium armor, martial weapons. Savage brutality. Savage mounts. Passive. The Warg Riders make a second attack every round while Alright. In case you're wondering, man, Notepad, these orcs look like they could rip my asshole a new one. The answer is yeah, that's the point. Orcs are supposed to be scary. They're supposed to be big spooky things that can kill you. So what I'm going to do effectively here is that I have the idea for these. I think if I just... what I'm going to do is I'm just going to replace it with the wibbly wobbly. I don't know how to do this aggressive jazz hands. And place it down there as well. Because, again, it's there. It's done. I just need to, figure out how to get it from here to here. Actually, not here. To here correctly. And I have an idea of how to do it. It's just a lot of doing it because I would like to do it for the... I could possibly just brute force it with the enemy trees because they're going to go straight down. But for things like the class trees, it's kind of hard because they spread out so much, and if I do try just to go down, the result is so massive that it's actually kind of hard to deal with. So, all right, let's see what time it is. It is... I've been streaming for about an hour and a half. All right. I think I'm going to call it a day here. So, we've gotten the basics of Project Tactics done. The idea is in place. The parts of the puzzle are laid out before me. And now I just need to make it not awful. Now, how I plan on doing that is... well, I don't know. Because there's two issues that I'm currently kind of dealing with. One, the scale of the combat's actually kind of screwy. Because you have about 5-6 guys with you at all time. But, kind of larger scale engagements, that kind of gets a little bit wonk. On the other hand, the numbers go a long ways in both directions, and I don't quite know if that's how I want squads to be. What I may have to do is do something like an average, but that's its own special kind of pain in the ass to worry about. I try to avoid having long bits of math because I feel that bogs down games, but I might have to do it with something like this just because there's so many fucking modifiers to worry about. This isn't even dealing with things like cavalry or anything like that. Like the base idea is in place. The concepts are there. Now I just need to wrap everything together nicely. Because I'm worried it doesn't quite work. Like I see it in my head. Alternatively, what I may have to do is switch focus of the game entirely and bump the size up from kind of your basic squad to more of like I wouldn't say company size, but kind of the in-between between a company and a squad kind of platoon. Would that be the case? Kind of like because I keep seeing ads for it. Crusade, Kingdom Under Fire Crusades, or something akin to that. But I don't know how I want to do that. I might think on it. But thank you all for watching. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your night. And tomorrow, I'll hopefully have an idea of what the hell I want to do. Because as of right now, I'm kind of winging it. So overall, we have about 44 pages worth of things currently, though after we add everything, you can probably bump that up to about 55-ish. And we currently have 8,241 words. Again, when you add in all of this, probably put it in more than 9,000. But thank you all very much, and have a wonderful rest of your day.